Today's episode is brought to you by Friday, the day of the week in which all of these episodes aired. Today I'm going to be looking at Dr. Stone, Fire Force, O Maidens in Your Savage Season, and Granbelm. And hopefully, like the end of the week, they're a pleasant surprise. But who knows? In order to find out, you just have to keep watching. Because, as ever, this is a 2019 summer anime preview from a different perspective. I'm not the biggest fan of shonen shows. They're too in-your-face and loud for me. I'd much prefer to watch a show about Naruto Maki than about Naruto the Ninja. But I do like to watch everything and let you know what I think of them. And so today's new show is Dr. Stone, an anime about the end of the world. Actually, no, it's not. It's about a world which is reverted to a Stone Age, or everybody's turned to stone, and they're kind of reverted to a Stone Age through the lack of civilization. It is a very loud anime, and there's two characters, well, three characters if you include the girl, of note. You got the main character, I think he is, Senku, a genius scientist who is pointlessly and ridiculously sciencey. He knows everything, and he knows how to read everything. He's unrealistically knowledgeable, and he's our main character. He also looks a bit like a leek. And then you got the other main character, Taiju, and he is muscle. Yeah, that's literally his job in the anime. He does stuff for Senku. Senku needs something gathering, Taiju goes out and gathers it. Senku needs to crush some grapes, Taiju does it for him. Of course, Taiju has got his own priorities. You see, just before everyone got turned to stone and the world went to shit, he was about to confess his love to the love of his life, Fuzu. And she's pretty cute. Don't know much about her. She's a bit of an airhead, a bit like him. She clearly likes him, but they were never able to be confessed, because just as he was confessing, everybody turned to stone. That's basically what the anime is about, really. The first episode just features Taiju waking up in the post-apocalyptic world, meeting Senku, who's already been awake because he counted, and been turned to stone for, I think it's something like 3,700 years. And somehow they're stoned into road. But yeah, we're back alive again, and we're trying to find a way to help people to get unstoned. There's not really much more to say than that, really. It's basically an anime with a big burly guy helping a leek solve the world's problems. When it goes forward doing that, who knows? Will they try and rebuild civilization? Will there be a civilization already being rebuilt? Will aliens have invaded? God knows. All I know is Dr. Stone. It's an interesting show. I don't know enough about it yet to make a decision, but you can find this one airing over at Crunchyroll. I said earlier how I'm not a huge fan of shonen anime, and again I must stress that as a case when I turn up and watch Fire Force, a shonen anime about firefighters, except it's not really, it's about demon fighters just wearing firefighter uniform. You know, I probably would have been cool with a shonen anime about firefighters fighting fires, because firefighters are people we need to respect. They risk their lives on a daily basis to save ours. Where demon fighters in anime are pretty much a dime a dozen. I don't think there's ever actually been an anime which talk about just the heroes who save buildings from burning down, save cats on trees, and things like that. Not to say there isn't any firefighting in Fire Force, because there's a lot of it. It's just the main focus on the fighting of demons, or as I found out in this one, they're just basic people who spontaneously internally combust and turn into demons and try and destroy everything. You see, this is a world where it's gone up in flames, and I'm not just talking figuratively like real life, I'm talking literally like in this anime. And our main character, Shinra, is a third generation pyrokineticist, because apparently there are pyrokinesis in this world, full of demons who self-combust. That itself sounds a bit suspicious to me, but yeah. He's a third generation, he's looked down upon because people think he killed his family, and now he just wants to be a hero and save a day. So he joins up with the 8th Squadron to fight fires and fight these fire people who self-combust and attack other people. And he does that. He's joined by a bunch of ragtag comrades. You got a fire chief, you got the rather perverted muscle-bound guy, You've got the very, very attractive other firefighter lady, a second generation pyrokineticist. And then you've got the sister. Not his little sister, not a big sister, a religious sister. Because as well as being firefighters, apparently these firefighters now go by religion. They fight with non-specific crosses and prayers, although I say non-specific, she is wearing a habit, so we are very much heavily implying this is a Christianity-based religion, just with non-standard crosses. I don't know why Japan and a lot of places actually feel the need to just force religion into stories. I mean, we're talking about demons here, but do they really need to have church involved? It's Magical Index all over again, isn't it? Anything occult, anything sort of out of the ordinary, immediately religion. Normally Christianity. And I've got no time for that. But despite going into this show without wanting to think too much about it, it's shonen, it's not for me, it's not bad really. If you like decent shonen fighty shows, if you like action orientated, if you like the mainstream anime, which I normally don't, then this is probably one for you to watch because it's not bad. People are going to like this one, and I imagine next time I see pictures from an anime con, I'll see loads of people wearing firefighter uniforms just dressed in blue, which will confuse the hell out of the normies who wander by the convention centre. If you didn't want to watch Fire Force, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. Otome-domo Zinio Savage Season. That's a very colourful name to such an interesting anime. An interesting anime premise it is because it's an anime about a high school's literature club, and a very strange literature club in anime in that they talk about books. I mean, count how many literature clubs in anime you can think of which actually talk about books, and you're not going to be counting very high. But in Maidens, they do that. The story really comes from what type of books they talk about, because they talk about a very specific type of book. They talk about sex books, or books with very interesting sex things in them anyway. They do it out of a cultural value, they say. But I think that's just them covering themselves, because they want to talk about sex, everybody else is doing it, both talking about it and sex itself, but they're not getting any, because they are the, to use a term used in the anime, the dung heap. They're not really. I mean, the girls in the literature club are very nice actually. You got the cute main character girl who has got a lovely childhood friend. She likes him, he clearly likes her, but he's also one of the most popular guys in school, so everybody thinks that she's got it too good. They hate her for it, and she's basically the target of loads and loads of bullies. You got the cutesy best friend, who we don't know too much about her, but she's BFFs forever with the main girl, Kazusa. You got the beautiful girl in the club, who is the one who instigates all the problems, which I'll talk about in a moment. You got the shy, bookish one, who's actually writing novels in her spare time as well, using internet chat rooms to basically have experiences so she can write about them. How realistic those experiences are? Probably not very, to be honest. And then you got the club president. So uptight she thinks that anyone who talks about sex outside of literature is a pervert. So much so she snaps in the middle of class and causes the rest of the class to just look down on her even more than they already do. Except one boy who possibly has an interest in her, or possibly just wants to have sex with her. Though it'd probably do her a world of good just to do that, to be honest. And this is very much a coming-of-age drama. It's light, it's airy, it's very delicate in its portrayal. It reminds me a lot of Tsukigakure and shows like that, Wandering Sun. It's not got the same art style, which I think without art style it would have been a bit too much. It's got the same delicate approach. These are young adults trying to make their way in the world, at the height of their interest in the opposite sex, with no experience to talk about how they approach it. And that's why coming-of-age dramas like that are so interesting, because you get to see different paths, different thoughts, and people finding people they like for the first time, and people, there's bound to be drama. And it really doesn't surprise me at all to find out that this is actually based on a manga written by famous director Mari Okada. You can see her hallmark touch across the entire story. I mean, look at the type of series she's directed in the past, and you feel see that touch in just work she's directed, so actually a story she's written. It's going to be something special. Now, I'm not a fan of all of her works, but I understand her style enough to know that this is going to be one which I'm probably want to go back to more and more. If you're a fan in any way of Mari Okada's work, or coming-of-age dramas, this one's probably going to be worth sticking around for. If you did want to watch this one, you can find it airing before the Japanese release over on High Dive. I do like myself some good Yuri. and I like myself some good mecha as well, and hopefully the two of those will be combined when I watch Granbelm, a Yuri looking show about mecha and about magic, and about an innocent girl finding herself in a magical world she knows nothing about, fighting a battle with other mecha. This is one of those shows where the main character is thrust into the forefront of a conflict she knows nothing about, and she finds herself piloting probably what's going to be the most powerful mecha out there, but not knowing how to do so. Think the likes of Madoka Magica, where you got the new rookie magical girl joining with Ray, and ending up saving the world. That's what I think Mangetsu is going to be doing in this one, because she's sweet, she's innocent, means she's even got pink hair for crying out loud. What more from a main character do you want? When she meets her saviour, the clearly foreign sounding Shingetsu Anesta Fukami, you can tell she's foreign because she's got 3 names, not 2. It's simple rule of thumb for any type of show like this: if a character's got a triple-barreled name, then they're not from Japan. Even if their name sounds very, very Japanese, not actually Japanese. Now, there's not a huge amount to go on the first episode. We see Mangetsu is a bit of an airhead. She left her lunch at school, wants to go to school, get a lunchbox, go home and make lunch for the next day. Because keeping a lunch at school for the next day is not good. But in doing so, when she's at school, she gets transported to a magical world where people are fighting with robots. And of course, anybody in a magical world is fighting against each other because it's a tournament. They're trying to determine who's going to be the next grand magical girl, or whatever I'll call it. I'm not quite sure. I think they've got some type of title for it, but I can't remember it. It's very much a Fate Stay Night style premise where magic battles have gone throughout the ages trying to get the Holy Grail. This time, magical battles in Mecha are going on to try and become the one. And she meets up with a girl who saves her. She meets that Shingetsu character who's piloting a pretty cool looking mech, probably the most powerful one, but it gets damaged. And just as she's about to get destroyed, Mangetsu wakes up to her powers, unleashes her most powerful weapon, which is probably going to end up being called Granbelm or something like that, and saves the day with a ginormous freaking beam. There's a few other characters. The voice cast of this one is Stella. You got the very angry Ojo. You got the cute other girls. There's Aoyuki in there, which is always a positive for me. So yeah, this one looks like it's going to be my cup of tea. I'm not sold yet. Shows like this are always hit and miss, and hopefully this one will be more of a hit. If you did want to watch Granbelm for yourself, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. I went into this episode with dread. 2 shonen shows, and 2 shows I didn't know too much about, which looked passable, but not fully sure. I'm leaving it with hope. Hope that these shows will continue to be pretty good, and with knowledge that I'm going to be watching at least one of them continuously. So join me next time to see what else will be surprising me. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, bye bye.